The year is 2061, and the Earth hung blissfully in outer space, little knowing that a rogue asteroid was heading. The Earth fired missiles at it, but still, the asteroid struck the atmosphere. It left the Earth a wasteland. Governments were toppled, cities fell, anarchy reigned. Survivors banded together under leaders who would provide a modicum of safety. Thus came the rise of the warlords. They needed heavily armed vehicles to traverse the vast regions and protect the limited resources of their realms. Without manufacturing, they had to build cobbled-together vehicles, heavily armed vehicles that were built to protect and defend. This is one of those builds. Well, welcome back to the Crossroad Diecast Speed Shop, and today we have a very different type of a build we're going to be working on this episode. This is a airport rescue fire truck made by Hot Wheels, and it's going to be the base vehicle that I use for the Four Horsemen August 2024 Wasteland Warlord vehicle. I saw this and I said, this just seems like a type of truck it could be. You can see I've already been using it. I took some of the wheels off to use in another restoration project I did a couple of years ago. So I thought this would be a perfect vehicle to use to do a Gaslands build for that. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of it. Again, it's going to be just the base vehicle. We've got other things we're going to be doing with it as well. So let's get this thing apart and start our project. All right, well, I'm moving along on my Wastelands Warlord build. And, I was trying to think of what would a warlord have a big, have a big rig, because if you're in charge or something, you're in charge of a place. So I got this car all taken apart, this old airport fire truck and stuff. I took these old black walls. I'm going to save them because I might need them for a restoration project sometime down the road. So I'll save those. And there's these two little plastic hoses on there. There's not much to them, but I'll set those aside too, and maybe I'll use those. And it's a metal base, and it's metal. And but I was looking at it, I said, what could be, because I wanted to make something that was going to make it look really like a big truck, a big rig or whatever. And as you can see here, this is how the base snaps in there. It's like that. And I had this monster truck in a bucket of trucks, and you can see, must have got stepped on or run over or something. And one of the things I noticed too, the wheels, what I had to do is some of the wheels were off the rims. They were hanging over the rims. And so what I did was I took some hot water and I soaked them in that to soften them up. And I just took a screwdriver blade and I was able to put them back over, because these are really hard plastic tires. But when you do that, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stuff off and see what I can do here with that. Take those pieces off, because I'm just really looking for the thing to mount it. I think I'll take that base out of there if I can. And because what I'm thinking about doing is doing something like that, and I'll put that on there and mount that. Excuse me. And something along that line, stuff like that. But I also got to thinking, if I'm going to do a Wastelands Warlord, a warlord needs some escort vehicles too. So I'm going to be working on some escort vehicles too. I have this lethal diesel. It's missing the interior, so I'm going to have to figure out something to replace that. And then I also have this Nomad. It's a 55 Chevy Nomad. It's missing the windshield. But I think it's already kind of looking like a building, so I'm going to see if I can get this dirtied up and make this also into another escort vehicle. So I have a couple of escort vehicles going along with this as it goes down the road and stuff. So let's move on. Okay, well, we're coming to the fun part of these Gasland builds. That's putting all the accoutrements onto the cars, the weaponry and all the other little stuff you want to do. One thing I'll show you. One of the things I did is I took one of those Scotch-Brite wheels and I scuffed it up. You can use sandpaper, you can use a file. I use different things, but this one I just took some Scotch. Try to take some of the shine off it to make it so the glue will hold those pieces on. Again, you can see I did that here. again, you don't have to be real perfect on any of these things because they're Wastelands cars and stuff. And basically, what's more important is what's under the hood than what's above it. But we do want to have some weaponry and some things on that. So I've got some different things. I've got some little 3D printed parts that I got from my friend Andrew over at Maple Leaf Customs. He sent me some in a package recently. But I also, let me show you something else. Maybe you don't have, maybe like me, most of the time you don't have any access to that. But you know, the Dollar Tree or some other dollar stores have these parts for those little action figures. And there's a lot of guns and weaponry, and there's all kinds of things here and that. And there's other types of machine guns that they have. And rocket launches that go on those robots and stuff that they have. So those are just some ideas that you can use too. So you don't have to even have access to 3D parts, and it's pretty inexpensive because this Gaslands build, and it's just so fun. You're making a little Gaslands car, and there's probably some of the easiest. Though sometimes I think I overthink it, but I think they're a lot of fun to build. So anyways, so let's move on, and I'm going to put some pieces on here, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. All right, well, I'm going to share a little bit of my progress that I've been making on my Wasteland Warlord build. Because of all the little bits and stuff, it's kind of hard to show you while I'm doing it because sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing on it, to be honest with you. But I'll show you some. This is my Warlord vehicle right here. And so I've taken, one thing I did here, you know how to make galvanized type strips and stuff, what I did is I took a tin can and I used my tin snips, and I cut out the things. I didn't think on a Warlord vehicle or those type of things, they probably wouldn't be too fancy anyways. They'd just be welding some panels on there to protect the inside of the thing. I added the rocket launches from one of those kits, the laser rifles there, and I took this driver that Andrew sent me over at Maple Leaf Customs and put that in. So he's not actually a driver now. He's shooting and stuff. Then I got some storage up top here. And put this is a grill guard and stuff on the front that I got from Andrew. Again, you see got some more of those panels on there just to do that. The base is coming together pretty well over there. I won't move it because I got some JB Weld that's still hardening on that. And then of course I wanted to have 2 escort vehicles, and so this is one I'm really kind of more proud of than any of them. Of course, I got some of the screen in there, and this I saw, and I think it was on our guest Horseman, Gaslands NorCal, I think it was, that I saw that on, and putting that on there, because they did that on some of the death races. They had those louvered panels in there, and I put those louvered panels in there. And of course, I got my little weapon up on top there as well, and I took some more panels to block out those back windows on that. And then, of course, I took a lethal diesel, and I put some screening over there. I didn't do a whole lot to that. I got the guns on there, and I got these tanks that go to the guns, so maybe the flamethrower is a flamethrower type of gun or something like that for this escort vehicle. But I just wanted to do a little bit to it. Again, these are just more accessories or something to go along with the big build. But so it's coming right along. Now we got to get ready to let this dry, and then we'll get into some paint, and then we'll start detailing up some of the weapons and the configurations and things that are on here. So let's move on. All right, well, we have done a little bit of work on our Wastelands Warlord build. Again, painted everything black, got the cars put together, did some detailing on the weaponry and tires and things like that. Get that ready. Now it's time just to do a little bit of weathering and a little bit of rust making, I guess, or whatever on it as well, and dusting. Got a lot of different things, got a lot of different surface things to use. I'm going to try a few out just to see what ones will work really well. And we'll just, again, a lot of it's just dry brushing on that. So I'm just going to try some different things just to see how they work out. And some dry brushing. I'm going to use a little bit. I'm going to use one of these sponge brushes a little bit. And again, just kind of tap it off a little bit. You don't want to hold a whole lot on it, 'cause you're not trying to paint the car or whatever. You just want to put some rust on it, or some places where, you know, it might look like it's going to have some rust. And again, that one got a little bit too much. So I'll take another. Just trying to put a little bit of stuff on there, not too much on there. Like I said, I got a little bit over there, but that's all right. Again, it's like you're trying to make it look like it's gotten weathered and rusty, as you see here. Trying to make some of it, it's like it's Wasteland, so it's got a little bit of sand on it too, or whatever. And some of the areas, some of the highlighted areas, probably the areas where they'll have some of this will be around the wheel wells, maybe. Some of these tanks and stuff do that. So just a little bit of different things, a lot of different colors you can use. Not gonna take a whole lot of time. You can watch it, you know, it's like watching paint dry. But we're gonna take and do some more on that, and just try it out and see what we can come up with. All right, well, we've got the cars all ready. We've got them weathered up and stuff. Again, just taking some of the sponges off of one of the sponge brushes, and then just dipping it into some of the paint. I just put a little bit of paint in it, and then again, make sure you dry it up as best you can on a piece of paper towel, and then just go along the tops and along the edges and stuff, just to do that. Another thing I also use when I do that is I also use some of this weathering powder. You can get these at hobby stores and online and stuff. And then by using a little brush and then just brushing over everything, kind of gives it a dusted look. You can see, especially on my waste runner here, you can see I got looks a lot of dust. Get the sand, you know, make it look like sand's gotten up onto it a lot, onto these and onto the tires, and that works out pretty good. I also took some of the rust and the rust paint from Vallejo, and I kind of dabbed it inside the wheels too, because the wheels, you know, look like they kind of got rusted, got a little bit of corrosion on them and stuff like that. And so we got these all ready. So we're going to take and do some glamour shots. And again, this has been a real fun build for me this month, different one. I want to thank our guest horseman, Gaslands NorCal, for being our guest horseman this month. And on behalf of Paul at Diecast Graveyard, Andrew at Maple Leaf Customs, Tom at Spork Syndicate, and myself, I want to thank you for taking part in these things and watching these videos, and want to encourage you to take part in our monthly challenges and invitationals. There's a lot of different things, a lot of neat things you can look and just see, and also be sure to go out and check everybody else's out who are doing that. And if you do one of these vehicles each month, please be sure to send it in to Four Horsemen Diecast at gmail.com every month on the last day of the month. It's a 16:9 format. And we'll be sure to put it in one of our monthly recap videos, so everybody can see your work. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, you don't need to have a YouTube channel or anything like that. You can just, but send it in to us again at Four Horsemen Diecast at gmail.com, and we'll be able to put that in our monthly recap video. It would be good if you can put your car with a white background, because that helps us. We also give out basically Horseman Choice Awards, and also we give, every time you do 6, 12, or 24, we give out different horseshoe awards for that. For 6 times, if you participate in 6 of our events, we give you a bronze horseshoe. If you participate in 12, we give you silver. If you participate in 24, and there's a couple of you that are getting up to 24, you're going to get gold horseshoes. And so we really appreciate all of you watching. And as always, God bless, and thanks for stopping by the shop.